how many years you stayed there?
I actually worked there for close to 8 years. And then I shifted to Dubai. And Dubai became my home. If you look at your company as a product,
Right.
then it also means that how do you position your product
Right.
based on whoever is interested in your company.
Right.
It started off as a web development agency,
Okay.
but it grew to a messaging provider,
Mhm.
to a creative, and eventually grew to a complete digital communications agency. As weird as it may sound, if you follow the whole technology landscape for the last 20, 30 years, there's always been something that is about to break grounds.
Right.
Automation has always been the key.
Right.
Before, I think 25 years ago, we used to call it e-business.
Right.
It was all about automating your business processes.
Right.
So it's the same thing now. It's just that it's a lot more accessible.
Hi everyone. So today in this first episode of a new podcast series, we are going to invite a very successful entrepreneur from Dubai who has more than 30 years of experience running different businesses. So he is the founder and CEO of 1111 Marketing. His name is Mr. Gopal Aswani. We are going to invite him to this podcast and we'll try to learn from him what all different businesses he operates, how one of his businesses got acquired, what are the key learnings that he had from this acquisition, what kind of different failures that he had through this entire journey. And we'll also try to understand, like, if someone new who is coming to Dubai and who wants to start a new business, what are the 3 things that he has to actually do to reach at this level. So watch this episode till the entire end and let me know your feedbacks and comments that you have for this. Thank you. Hi Gopal, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Perfect. So, like, I did a bit of a study about you, and like, I saw that you have a very diverse background. Like, you were born in Africa, then you went to UK, and then finally in Dubai. So, can you tell me, like, your whole background, like where you were born in this entire journey?
Sure, I was born in Liberia, West Africa.
Right.
And when I was about 10, I was sent to a boarding school in UK for about 8 years.
Right.
And then I shifted to Dubai, and Dubai became my home.
Okay, perfect. So since like how many years you have been in Dubai?
Dubai, I think I was stuck at 15 years for about 30 years. But now I've been in Dubai for close to 30 years now.
30 years.
Yeah. 30.
30.
Yeah.
So that's like a long time.
That's right. I don't want to admit it, but that's the truth. It's become home.
Yes. And also, like, your LinkedIn profile says like you are co-founder of multiple businesses. So for the audience, if you can tell them about one by one each of those businesses, what they actually do, so that would be great.
Well, I think once I finished and did my degree in education, I did work for a large enterprise, but that created a beautiful base for me to become a proper entrepreneur.
So was that more of a job?
It was a job, but I think I was lucky that the business owners allowed me to run the business as if it was my own. So they did not, they gave me the freedom to grow the business.
Right.
But the only difference was for the first 9 years, I was doing it for another unit rather than for myself.
Right. So what was these roles like? What actually you were doing for them?
For them, so for the group, I was given the title of Internet Commercial Manager.
Okay.
Which I took it on meant that I had to be responsible for converting the business into a profitable business.
Right.
But it was in the field of internet.
Right.
Which basically meant in those days, 28 years ago, it meant pretty much creating websites, simple HTML pages,
right?
And rather than focusing on print material, focusing on digital. So it's very initial
taking them
stages.
On the internet, right?
Yes, it was just when we were still ICQing. There wasn't messaging per se directly, and we would just come out of dial-up.
So we are talking about roughly around 1995 or 96.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
So which was the first company that you joined?
So the first company that I joined was firstly a family business, which I was doing whilst I was doing my degree. But the official company was Al Futtaim Group.
Okay.
So that was one of the largest privately owned companies in the Middle East and the UAE.
Mm-hmm.
I was very fortunate to get a role in marketing and technology.
Understand. Like, for how many years you stayed there?
I actually worked there for close to 8 years.
8 years.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And then you started your entrepreneurial
Yes.
journey.
Yes.
Right. So which was the first business that you started actually?
So my first business was also the longest business, which I was one of the founding members.
Right.
And we ran it from an operational point and grew it organically.
Means what that business was all about, if you can like.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it started off as a web development agency,
Okay.
but it grew to a messaging provider,
Mhm.
to a creative, and eventually grew to a complete digital communications agency.
Okay.
So the goal was to add different revenue models, different streams,
Right.
but organically to add value. So we started as one, and then as the digital world exploded, we actually grew with that and added more services as well.
So like, is it still ongoing? Like,
It is an ongoing company. Fortunately, this company was acquired 2 years ago.
oh, that's great.
So once that got acquired, then I was very much deeply involved in the day-to-day running with my co-business partner. And post that, we just expanded into multiple other fields. What we learned, we applied elsewhere in other industries and scale it up faster.
Right. So on the acquisition part, if you can share more details, if you are comfortable, maybe you can share some numbers, so that will actually give the audience an estimate that okay, this is what it looks like when an acquisition of a digital agency happens.
If you look at your company as a product,
Right.
then it also means that how do you position your product
Right.
based on whoever is interested in your company.
Right.
So if you have a large corporate, which is a network, they'll look at your company in a certain way.
Mhm.
If you have a private business, they'll look at the company in a certain way. So you have to kind of see what your strengths and weaknesses are and find the right audience.
Right.
And if you get the right audience, then your multiplier effect
Right.
happens quite decently.
So would you be like comfortable putting some numbers around the acquisition?
Numbers as in what?
Like in terms of like the numbers at which it was acquired, like in terms of dollars.
I wouldn't be able to say so, but it's remarkable that we were able to create a business from scratch
Okay.
that was organically funded,
Right.
and it funded itself to be one of the largest messaging players in the region.
Okay. So region, when you say it's UAE or the entire Middle East?
In the UAE, but also I would say Middle East for messaging for sure.
Middle East, right? And like how many people were there, and at what revenue it went to?
Well, I can't share certain details because there is.
I understand, but if you can give some context, maybe it was 7-digit, 8-digit, 9-digit. So that would be
let's say in terms of messaging volumes, we might be churning out anywhere between 60 to 90 million messages per month.
Okay.
And in the course of probably the last 4 or 5 years, whilst I was running the business, we had worked on more than 500 brands in terms of projects, web-based projects.
Mm-hmm.
We were one of the largest growing in terms of digital and performance marketing.
Okay.
But we were very selective. For us, it wasn't about the numbers. It was about the quality of clients, the service, because when it is those clients that through word of mouth will grow our business.
Right, right.
So for us, it was absolutely customer service.
Okay.
And I think that's what actually the team that acquired us wanted to acquire.
Understood.
See, what would they acquire? Technology we did have.
Right.
Team and resources we do have.
Right.
And we did have. But that can change.
Mm-hmm.
Clients is something that's key, and the loyalty of the clients.
Right, right. So which were like some of your biggest client in that company?
Quite a few, because we worked, I would say, with probably 70 to 80% of the large groups of clients within the UAE for starters.
Okay.
So we would work with Estee Lauder, Dubai Municipality, Toyota, Honda, IKEA. The list goes on.
Understood. And what was like your primary way of acquiring those clients? Like how did you actually reached out to them? How did they become your client? If you can share some lights on that.
So for us, in the initial stages, there was a lot of, I wouldn't say cold calling, but we were reaching out, meeting. But I don't think that was an effective way for us.
So you are saying cold calling didn't work for you?
Didn't work. And because even if you get sort of the conversions, the quality of those conversions weren't that strong.
So basically the effort to reward ratio was not that
Not
good.
at all. Not at all.
So that didn't work for you. So what actually worked for you?
It was honestly speaking other clients.
Okay.
That was it. So once we serviced one client really well, then they would talk about us to their network of partners, and then they will call us in. Now, when that would happen, I would know my conversion ratio was automatically 50%.
So more of a references and word of mouth.
100% references, and also that first contact is us understanding their problem or their challenge, and we try to address those challenges.
Okay.
But it's also a culturally driven environment.
Right.
So if you see who your customer is, then your individual who's reaching out to them
Right.
should align to their values, and then reach out
Right.
and you meet with their cultures.
Right.
And that's was an interesting way for us to convert.
Right. So you said cold calling didn't work for you, references worked a lot. So was there any another channel through that actually helped you to get more clients?
Purely references, but they were very powerful for us because in UAE and in the region it's all about, okay, I know this individual, I know this company. Once that comes in, then the business will follow. You still need to deliver, because if you don't deliver,
exactly,
it will have a more negative effect backwards.
And it's a small place, right?
And it is, I mean, it's a small place, but it's a very well connected. I mean, it is a pretty decently sized market, but it's very well connected, and very well networked.
Right.
So that's your advantage and your
disadvantage both.
Opportunity for growth, I would say.
Right. So what would you suggest to someone, let's say someone is planning to establish like their digital marketing or agency in Dubai? How should they grow it? How should they scale it?
Well, they'll definitely need to have a proper...
Assuming they are starting from zero, what should be their roadmap?
Okay, it also depends on what products you have. It's not that difficult to reach out to different companies, different people. But if you have a real product that you believe in, because if you don't believe in what you are providing, clients will see it a mile off. So you need to believe in that, and you build your network. Once you build your network, automatically things will roll, because you cannot put something in the market that there is no market for.
Right. So when you say build your network, and we are taking a scenario, someone who is completely new to the market. So how does a 20-year-old, someone who has first time gone to Dubai, how should he approach clients, or how should he or she build a network? So
firstly, you'll have your own personal network. If you don't have it and you're completely new, there's a lot of networks online where you can meet. There's, for example, the Marketing Society. There's BNI. There's even Toastmasters. So you go to business-driven network events.
Right.
It's a little bit social as well, but I think that's the best way to convert, because if you socially interact with me rather than a boardroom, there is an extra bond being created.
Right.
But your sale will not happen there. You cannot go in a hard sale base. You're building up a relationship.
Right.
And then later on, there'll be a remembrance. You'll meet them somewhere else. You'll meet them in a boardroom. The connection happens.
Right.
That means you're investing in a very different way. But the conversion levels are better, sometimes slower. But once a foundation is built,
you get some clients, work for them, deliver for them, and then a word of mouth will actually help you to scale. So that was your first company that got acquired. So what about the other companies that you're still working on?
So once the first company got acquired, I decided to take my roles to provide consultancy services for other agencies and other companies and certain other industries, such as the lottery business. Because a lot of our clients were into lottery, raffles, apart from automotive, etc. And we would support them from a marketing side and a technology side. So the key strength we brought forward is, okay, there's a marketing angle, but how do you merge technology so it's seamless?
Right.
So in one of my first experiences when I worked for Fame Group, we were always misplaced. Are we a creative? Are we marketing? Or are we technology? We are both.
Right.
And right now in today's world, you have to be both. You can technology have the best experience. But if you don't have a business need or a marketing push, it will not work.
Right.
And if you have a great idea, but you don't have the technology to deliver it economically, then it doesn't work.
Right. Understood. So that is one company. So this you work under 1111?
So the consultancy is separate, then I merged it under 1111.
Okay.
So what 11 is, it's an advisory company, it's a consultancy company. But rather than just creating roadmaps for other businesses across multiple industries, we also do the execution of those concepts we're putting forward.
Like if you can elaborate it detail.
So, for example, if a business is looking at improving the conversion ratio
Okay.
for walk-ins or ads.
You mean for a retail store you're talking about?
Could be retail, could be, let's take automotive as an example.
So how do you approach it? Like if you can explain.
Well,
it
for
in
example, if it's automotive, say, okay, we are getting X amount of leads, but our conversions are not as great.
detail.
Can you help us?
Mm-hmm.
Some clients would be more clear, some clients will not. Then we say, okay, let's look at your figures.
Mm-hmm.
Then we look holistically, okay, what are your sources of leads?
Mm-hmm.
Then we break down those sources of leads.
Mm-hmm.
What is the cost of getting those leads?
Right.
What is the quality of those leads?
Right.
What data are they collecting?
Mm-hmm.
How are they following up? And we see what journey basically they currently have.
Okay.
And then step back and then using other creative marketing and technology, merge it all together.
Mm-hmm.
Importantly, we also see what resources they have.
Mm-hmm.
Because what we want to do is use their resources, retrain or add those resources to create that journey. So once we understand that, we say, okay, here's a roadmap to improve.
Mm-hmm.
They'll say, okay, guys, now you're saying this, can you execute it?
Right.
And then we'll go ahead and execute it.
Right.
So for one client's example, we'll do the creative.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do the landing page.
Mm-hmm.
We will track the sales conversion.
Right.
Then it goes back to our ad team to either change the creative landing page
Mm-hmm.
or the communication.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's an issue happening, is the technology or the website not performing well? Do we
Mm-hmm.
optimize the website?
Mm-hmm.
Where are customers getting stuck?
Right.
So there's a lot of data. So you're a data scientist, you're a marketer, you're a technologist.
Mm-hmm.
So the different teams work together and then unite to make sure that to the client is just one touch point.
Understood. So what kind of impact you created on clients? Maybe if you can speak in terms of number, like you're able to increase the revenue, increase the sales, or increase the, let's say in a retail store, increase the footfall. If you can talk about that.
The KPI could be anything, and it's all of what you've mentioned there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the bottom line is always to increase the margins and profits,
Okay.
right? But we are also very much aware you can artificially increase profit
Mm-hmm.
in the short term.
Mm-hmm.
We try to say, okay, how do you increase your profit in the long term?
Right. Right.
And that's actually part of the education. So as a consultant, which has the tools to execute,
mm-hmm.
we somehow are more credible because, hey, we have experience. We've done it for many businesses,
Mm-hmm.
even our own businesses.
Mm-hmm.
We want to apply that same logic to you.
Right.
And what's interesting, generally speaking, it doesn't matter what industry, because all industries will have the same top level KPI,
Mm-hmm.
generally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And we just apply logic, common sense, and break down the
Mm-hmm.
different challenges that they have.
Understood. So at what scale you are at the current business, like this 1111? Like a scale in terms of maybe clients, maybe in terms of sales figure you want to, whatever you are comfortable disclosing to, because that will actually help the audience to understand how they can grow their business as well.
I'll rephrase it in another way.
Okay.
In terms, firstly, if you're running, as an entrepreneur, either you're involved in the business, that means you have the talent and the skills to do that business, or you learn to delegate and you hire resources and you give the direction.
Mm-hmm.
I personally always believe is you need to know how the job works, even if you're not on the operational level involved in it.
Right.
Because when you are guiding your team,
Mm-hmm.
there is a lot more credibility.
Right.
And it shows as it goes down the organization as well, because then that quality element is taken care of. But what I can say is, fortunately, with 1111, in the first 2 years of its operation has, I would say any company, we aim for a 6-month ROI.
Okay.
And the trick is to keep your costs low and keep your profits or your sales as high as possible.
Right.
And try to get your break-even point within 6 months.
Mm.
Because if you do, that allows you to expand, delegate, and grow post those 6 months. Then you also know that you have a market as well.
Right.
Especially for the industry of service that we do. Otherwise, it's harder to sustain yourself.
Right.
And if you're doing the organic model, that is.
Understood. And what is your average retention of a client, if that you onboard?
The whole thing, our whole approach, we do it is for that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll rather generally expend more energy to retain rather than acquire.
Okay.
Because if you retain well, they will acquire for you.
Right.
So
Understood.
generally speaking, historically, we have a 80 to 90%, if not more, retention value.
That's mind-boggling. That's very high, actually, especially in the services business.
Yeah.
Right, right. So this is one of your business. What about other businesses that you're currently running?
So what uh, I've done is created other business models as opportunity has come that add value to each model.
Mm-hmm.
So within 1111, there are about 7 different sub companies,
Okay.
but they all report or work in collaboration with 1111,
Okay.
and they form the executional team
Mm-hmm.
for 1111. So that could be creative, it could be performance, fintech related, market research related, even acquisitions, preparing your business, AI now, which is one of the key elements that we're onboarding, and these features that create a united value towards marketing and technology. Outside of this, I'm a co-founder with an events company.
Okay. So what
Which
it
is-
does? What is the name of that company?
The company is called Red Wolf Media.
Okay. What it actually does?
So it focuses on events, product launches, show launches, concerts,
Mm-hmm.
stage shows, PR related work, personal celebrations, as well as corporate celebrations. So it's up to us. We need to get an influencer in place, have an
Okay.
RJ, create a talent, create a show.
Right.
So it's a very physical world implementation strategy.
Right, and you have like a separate team for that as well.
Completely separate.
And since when that business is running?
That is also about 2 years. So once
Okay.
1111 set up, I would say shortly after Red Wolf was also launched,
Mm-hmm.
because there were 2 separate businesses.
These are two separate,
Two separate
line of
businesses.
Right,
But my client base can be the same.
right.
So it was about, okay, now if you're talking to myself and my companies, then
I
keep it
have
within.
this to offer as well.
So when you're talking on marketing, I say, who's doing your events? Okay,
Right.
here you go. Then reach out to events. And the good thing is that there's accountability.
Right,
Because at the end of the day, if the event doesn't go well, it also has an ROI,
right.
which it needs to cater to.
Right, and if it goes well, like it works well for you, right?
Correct.
Your customer acquisition cost is zero,
Correct.
and you get a new business as well. So
Correct.
that's really smart.
Correct.
Any other businesses that you're
Um,
operating?
I also opened up a vegan restaurant,
Okay.
which because generally speaking, I like to stay fit and eat healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And I just realized it was hard with a fast-paced environment to eat healthy and look after myself.
Right.
And then opportunity came. And
So what is the name of that
so
chain?
the restaurant is called Plantaholics.
Okay.
I was involved with it for about a year,
Okay.
and then it reached a point where we said, okay, beautiful experience, absolutely loved it, and the food was gorgeous.
Right.
But the market and our goal was to get it acquired in a short period of time.
Okay.
So within a year's time, that got acquired.
Okay.
And quite fortunate. And again, we set up the business. Not 100% that in mind. It was planned for much later,
Right.
but it happened sooner than expected because the opportunity was right.
Right. So if someone has to get their business acquired, they should approach you.
There are few people actually discussing that. And,
Right.
it's the same thing. It's you're looking at your challenge that you have as a business and
Right.
who would that business appeal to, and if you want to go that direction, how do we make it?
So how do we actually approach it? Like, say if a business reaches out to you and they say that okay, we are interested in merger or acquisition. So how do you approach it? Like, how do you try to find the investors or the right set of companies who are looking to invest? How do you approach it?
So that happens quite a bit.
Okay.
The first thing is to assess is, okay, can I add value to that business?
Mm-hmm.
And am I interested in that business as well? Because if I'm interested, then I'll find the challenges a lot more easily and be willing to change those as well.
Right.
And then generally see the owners and the potentials of change.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to be in a position to adapt and change the environment. You might have a great product,
Right.
but it needs to be fine-tuned either process-wise,
Right.
resource-wise to scale up to the next direction.
Right.
But if that is not ready, then it doesn't make sense. So you have to see, okay, are you willing to adapt? is there a potential market,
Right.
or can we make it merge with something else to add further value to it?
Right.
And of course, it has to add value. There has to be a need for a customer.
Right. Right.
And if it clicks all of that, then we look at investors,
Right.
which again, the investors has to either be someone that will add value, or someone that could basically run with it and then support the business to go forward.
Makes a lot of sense. So anything else that you're doing? Or? Because I see your plate is already like...
It is. But right now it's an important learning phase where we just keep what we have and grow and merge and network what is within our circle. Because I think at the end of the day, a lot of opportunities come,
Right.
but we miss those opportunities.
Right.
So just by sometimes staying still, it's important to then see what are the opportunities that come by and then take those opportunities rather than being busy with all these projects.
So what actually drives you? Like most of the people when their business get acquired, they just like want to rest, like travel the world, play golf and do whatever they want because like money allows you to do that, right? So what actually drives you to start again and then again run so many businesses? I am thinking how you are getting one time to like do a lot of things as well.
Is a very, very loaded question. I wish if I look back, I wish I would have taken time off. But it's in the culture when you enjoy your work.
Okay.
It is something that you like to do.
Right.
And to have success, when you remember, our goal was never to make money. It was just you're enjoying what you're doing, and
Right.
it worked. And when you see something working, that motivates you.
Right.
So just because that left, that habit and that feeling is still there.
So what is
So
it
you
that
do
you
that.
actually enjoy? Like is it like getting businesses acquired? It is creating new line of businesses, or is it getting new
I
customers?
like building things.
Okay. So since you have been in this technology space since so many years, I also wanted to know your thoughts on AI. Like obviously everyone wants to do AI, right? But what do you think? Where will it go 5 year or 10 years down the line? Or like a lot of companies and founders are predicting that everything will be automated and you should have things like universal basic income coming in. So what are your thoughts on that?
But as weird as it may sound, if you follow the whole technology landscape for the last 20, 30 years, there's always been something that is about to break grounds.
Right.
Automation has always been the key.
Right.
Before, I think 25 years ago, we used to call it e-business.
Right.
It was all about automating your business processes.
Right.
So it's the same thing now. It's just that it's a lot more accessible. That means there's a lot more liability for the technology to be adapted a lot
Right.
quicker.
Right.
So definitely there's a huge change expected with AI. A lot of people are concerned that jobs will be lost or there
Right.
will be an adjustment in skills.
Right.
But that always happens with any technology that comes in.
Mm.
It's before how the automotive cars were created and how
Right.
they are created.
Right.
There is always a change.
Right.
But the workforce will reskill
Mm-hmm.
and then rechange and come in a different manner.
Right.
And in fact, chances are, if you look at it correctly, AI will create more jobs,
Mm-hmm.
but just in a very different manner.
In a very different manner.
Absolutely.
Like prompt engineers. That is
Yes.
a new category of
Absolutely.
that has emerged,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
Companies are hiring people who are very good at prompt
Absolutely.
engineering.
Absolutely.
Right. But yes, for sure, few jobs will go, but a lot of new jobs are going to be created.
Absolutely.
So you're optimistic about it.
Very, very. And it's happened. You've seen it again. There's always been, doom, robotic arms coming in, doom, or any new technologies coming in, this is going to have this impact, that impact. But eventually we adapt and we actually grow more. And you've seen this. Anyone will show you the classic charts from radio, television.
Right.
What has happened? It's-
Right.
Things always, we adapt.
So where do you think this hype cycle is going? Like, will it move further towards the physical AI, wherein we start seeing more automated cars, robots? Like, what do you see? Like, let's say 5 or 10 years down the line.
I think definitely automated cars. There's a lot of investments that we see happening in the market, and with different automotive providers, that's definitely going to happen. To what degree and to which level of penetration is going to happen is hard to say. So some countries will adapt faster, some a lot slower because infrastructure will not be there. But there'll be so many different variations happening and other industries being sparked using that same technology. And I think those you can't predict because often the innovation will come where there's a need. So all this is creating that opportunity for it to grow. But AI coming more to the physical elements, 100%. I mean, we've been dreaming of this for years. Every sci-fi book has guided that everything is going to be automated.
Right.
To what degree? It can be
That
scary.
is still to be
Yeah,
seen.
but definitely very optimistic about it.
But what do you think about it, like in country like India, how will it impact employment? Because if driverless car comes to India, like India has around 10 million people who are driving the commercial vehicles. So what will happen to them? What do you think?
Well, I think India will require a little bit more time. It's not that it's a plug and play that
No, of course,
suddenly within
the
a week's
chaotic our
time.
roads are.
Absolutely.
Considering it will take additional 5 years,
Absolutely.
but assuming it comes. So
So
what do you see happening to those people?
I think by the time that happens, it's going to be gradual.
Right.
And the workforce will automatically evolve and change naturally.
Right.
So it will not be like suddenly I'll wake up one morning and
Everything is like fully automated. Right?
it won't happen that
It
way.
won't happen.
But that's the beauty of it. Through that change, other opportunities will arise.
But important thing is people need to realize that they have to evolve with the technology, right?
Absolutely.
Like-
And we see that historically all the
Yes,
time.
yes, yes.
Even without having stats or figures, you know it historically. That's the human nature.
Right. So that brings us towards this last section of the podcast, wherein I will be asking you some one-liner question, and you
Okay.
have to answer it in like few words, very few words.
All right.
So we'll start.
That sounds like fun. Rapid fire.
Yeah. So what is your biggest failure?
My biggest failure. Not being able to allocate my time as efficiently as I would like to.
Okay. And what is your biggest success?
Biggest success. I don't know. I think yet to be achieved.
Okay. So that comes to the next question. What is your dream, something that you aspire for, and after achieving that you'll say that okay, now I have done it finally.
I'm still trying to find that out.
Okay. And what is your biggest fear?
Not succeeding. Wait, not learning.
Okay.
Because if you don't learn, I think being stagnant doesn't resonate.
Right. And how do you think people how do you nurture people in a company so that it goes on an automated mode?
Transparency.
Okay.
You got to be transparent because I think transparency means more credibility and more motivation.
Right. And how do you ensure that people work on that model, wherein they bring in a sense of ownership?
Well, you got to practice what you preach. So you got to take ownership over them, then they'll take ownership over you and the company as well. And the company doesn't do it, then don't expect it back.
Right. Fair enough. So I think that's it for today. It was wonderful talking to
Thank
you, and hopefully we'll meet again and keep getting these insightful details from you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks guys for watching this video till the very end. Hope you enjoyed this episode and you got a lot of things to learn from Mr. Gopal as well. Similarly, if you have other people in mind who you think we should invite, please let us know their name in comments so that we'll try to invite them in the next episode as well. And if you feel that this video actually gave you a lot of learnings, please share it with other people as well so that they get to know about it. Thanks a lot.